Earlier, right here from Sunny 106.3 for our 5K a day.
Hey everybody, Al here. I had an interesting night the other night I want to talk to you guys about. We were out with some friends, out to dinner, having a good time, you know, light-hearted kind of thing, just a bunch of people hanging out, shooting the breeze. And so an old friend of mine, you know, comes over to me and he says, "Hey Al, what's happening, man? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? What have you been up to?" So I tell him, I says, "Yeah, you know, I'm doing this YouTube channel. I'm going out to the shows and checking out cool cars, and I got this 18 Mustang, and you know, I'm telling him all about the 18 and how excited I am about today's auto industry and how excited I am about it." And it made for good conversation. Most of the people at the table have had a car, and you know, they're kind of with me on all this. One person chimed in and talked about the Oldsmobile 442 that they had back in the day. So you know, it was cool. It made for good conversation. But one bonehead on the other side of the table chimes in and he says, "Oh, you know, you're just having a midlife crisis. It's stupid what you're doing. You know, it's adolescent, blah, blah, blah." Really? Midlife crisis? You know, I gotta say, since the day I got my license, actually even before that, when I was a kid, I was into motorcycles and mini bikes. I had go-karts. You know, they had Tecumseh engines on them. I had a friend who was a jeweler. He had all of these little tools. We used to modify the carburetors, mill the heads, do anything we could do to make them run, and we did. Another friend of mine's father was a machinist, and I used to give him the sprockets and say, "Build me one like this with one tooth less or two teeth, you know, make them smaller," and we did. We made these mini bikes so fast. You know, back at that time, that was a really cool thing to do. And hey, and I got my first car. It was a 69 GTO. It needed a lot of work. I had all I could do to keep it running. I didn't know how to do that. I had an older brother who knew more about this than I do. Yeah, he showed me how to change the oil. You know, if you need to do a starter, you change the starter. If you need to do the brakes, you do the brakes. You know, at that age, you got to get to work. You ain't got the money to pay a mechanic, so you're going to do it. And that's how these things get started. After that, a 66 Mustang, 69 Mustang. I don't know, I think I had 3 or 4 Fox bodies. I had an 03 Cobra at one point, and I had 2 S197 Mustangs with 6R80s in them, and now the 18 Mustang. So I don't know what this crisis is all about, but I don't see it that way at all. This is my life. This is what I like to do. If you're a car person like me, I think you know where I'm coming from. So, you know, the evening is moving along, and this guy, you know, is like kind of digging at me. Every other thing out of his mouth is, you know, something about this midlife crisis. And the people at dinner are looking at me thinking, you know, Al's going to say something. Sooner or later, he's going to say something. You know, and I'm the kind of guy, I got to say, during my life, I've had a lot of people trash on my stuff. I've been into Fords the whole time, Mustangs or whatever. And you know, I don't know what it is, but there seems to be this culture that if you're into Fords, I gotta talk smack about your stuff. You know, I don't go around talking smack about anybody else's stuff. I like everything. I like Camaros. I mean, the Mustangs is my thing, but I like everything, man. I see the Mopars and stuff. To me, that stuff is cool. And today's cars are awesome. Everything runs. So, but this guy's digging at me, and so finally, you know, people are looking at me like they're expecting me to say something. So that's it. I have a YOLO moment. I go after the guy. I say to him, "So what do you do? What's so great about your life? What do? You play golf? Chase this little ball around? You know, that's what you do?" After all these years of $8,000 to $10,000 a year of your golf memberships, what do you got to show? What do you got to tell me? Hey guys, the guy actually answered me. He says, "Oh well, you know, last year I did 9 holes and I was 2 under par." Really? Wow, man, I'm real proud of you. That's awesome. You know, so hey, look, I know the car thing is expensive. I've put a lot of money into it, but after a few years, guess what I got? I still got my car. I could take it to shows. I could go to the track. I could sell it. You know, depending on what car you got. If you got a good one, it'll retain 75% of its value. You can sell it and move on to something else. You know, that's the way I see it. So yeah, the guy didn't know what to say. You know, he started flubbering over his words. Everybody at the table's kind of looking around, snickering and laughing under their breath and stuff. This guy made such a jerk out of himself. So we got through the night, and that was that. But don't get me wrong, folks. I'm not trashing on the golf thing. I know a lot of people who play golf. My father played golf and he loved it. You know, God rest his soul. That was his passion. That's what he wanted to do. So it's not about the golf. If that's what you want to do, hey, that's all cool. It's not about that. It's about the guy. He reminds me of people who would just kind of show up to me and start trashing my Mustang because I had a Ford. You know, what's that all about? I don't quite get that. But this guy got what he asked for, you know, and that's the way it goes sometimes. You reap what you sow. You know, another thing I think I'd like to make mention here too is that whatever it is that you like to do, whether in my case it's cars, or if it's golf, or I know people who are really into their aquariums, you know, marine fish and tropical fish and stuff like that. Whatever it is, if that's what you love, do it. Life is too short. I've been guilty myself of procrastinating over things and not going for it when the time was right. I don't know if it was the right thing to do or not, but today I'm just going for it. Life is too short. Today's a really great time to be alive. The cars that are being built that the factories are putting out, if back in the Fox body period, if you would have asked me or informed me that at some point you'd be able to buy an 11-second car from the factory, I'd have told you were crazy. But look at what's going on. It's commonplace today. Just about anything. You get a Mustang, a Gen 6 Camaro, a Challenger, a Charger. I mean, these Hellcats, look what they do, right? If your car isn't in the 11s, it won't take much, a little tweaking to get into the 11s. So everything is awesome right now, and I'm really excited about it. Other thing I'd like to say, I want to give special thanks to Alondro Flores. I met with him at Dyno Day at Pep Boys at Fort Myers. We put my car in the rollers. We did a dyno pull on it. I got some video. I posted it to my channel, and Alex shared it to his Facebook. As a result, I got a bunch of subscribers and I got a lot of hits, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Alex. That was really cool. And for the subscribers that came on board, when you're viewing my videos, post your comments. I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm an open book. I'm real curious to know what you guys want to see and what you think about my channel and what we're doing here. So, hey, go for it, man. I'm looking forward to that. And, one other thing I can say is that for as long as I'm alive and breathing and all that, and for as long as I can get behind the wheel of a car, that's where you'll find me. You'll find me behind the wheel of a cool car. And rest assured, you will not find me on the golf course. So that's about it for today, folks. Until next time, Coyote Car Guy, over and out.